when you get triggered by something, you react and it really throws you off. You might wake up in the morning and feel really thrown off. You might get empathically impacted and get sort of sideswiped, comes out of nowhere. Take a minute right now and think about, what do you do when you get thrown off? Do you feel like a victim? Do you shame yourself? Do you criticize yourself? Do you kind of collapse and want to give up? Where do you go? What is the hole you fall into when something throws you off? And just take a moment to feel into that, maybe even jot it down. And you might write this on a little piece of paper and put the date. March 2nd, 2024, or whatever day it is that you listen to this track. And it might be a little hole, might be just like, a 2-inch hole that you fall into. Might be a mile long hole of like despair, grief, shame, hide, ignore, deny. I don't want to look at that. Whatever it might be. If you're constantly rushing in your life, you might say, I don't have the time. I don't have time to look at that right now. That's a hole. And then as you feel into where you go when you get triggered, when you get thrown off, now ponder, how is this hole that you fall into, or this place where you go, good? So when we go into shame, kind of collapse in on ourselves. Well, and when we collapse in, that we could just keep going into our light. If we criticize ourselves, then we're beating ourselves up, thrashing ourselves. Okay, now we're attempting to get stronger. So we're after strength, more strength in the divine line. So we could use the self-critic and the thrashing, the whipping of self to attain strength, or we could just be like, oh, strong, strong, strong in line, strong in line, strong in line, amplify strong, strengthen the line in the divine line, divine cosmic loop, soul rider body teams. So if you know the place you go that we judge as bad, but then you see the good in it, then you can go straight to the good. If you go to apathy, I don't want to give up, oh, that's really good. That means you're letting go of old patterns because you don't have the energy to hold on to them. So the moment that you're like, oh God, I did it again. I don't have the energy to do it. I don't have the time to do it. Then you'd be like, oh, I'm releasing, 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 releasing all discord and grids. So determine the place you go. And then when you wake up in the morning and you're like, I'm totally off, I get thrown off. Oh, I'm supposed to go deeper in. So feel into the positive, and we can unpack this more deeply in the group gathering gallery view. But identify where it is that's good, and then that's your go-to instead of the negative thrown off. Oh. I'm tuning into the energy for the next 3 weeks between now and March 19th with spring equinox. And it sets the tone the next 3 weeks. Whatever you're holding inside yourself is what gets really activated and amplified, and we follow through with it in the coming year between now and next March. So take a minute right now, deep breath in, pulling yourself into your line. And feel into, what is it that you are yearning for inside yourself 24/7? If there was a particular vibration that you could hold that would be a baseline for you 24/7, that could support you and sustain you in this coming year, what would that be? And then you're using your position in the physical dimension to make a request for you 1 year from now to ripple and reflect the actualization of that quality that you hold in your core to you in every single breath and every single day. So you, March 2nd, 2025, are fully embodying that quality, rippling and reflecting it to you, your body, your teams. Your body is reflecting it to itself. Your teams are reflecting it to itself, themselves. Whatever that vibration might be, and that vibration might be different. So what you're doing is you're using your position in the physical dimension to actualize a particular reality in another dimension in the future. Full throttle. Might be totally empowered or totally joyous or totally connected or in place of incredible clarity and calm. And then you're inviting your future self to be rippling and reflecting that energy to yourself in every single day into the past, which is the breath of now. But then it's going to be very, 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 very important for you on March 2nd, 2025, to take 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and witness yourself reflecting this lovely vibration to yourself in the past. Because if you don't do that, then for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month or 2 months or 3 months, you could be exhausted because you're unconsciously, energetically helping yourself in the past, this past year. So that's why you want to be very conscious about when you do, we'll call it time work, of put on your calendar March 2nd, sit in meditation, energy work for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, inviting your higher self, body to his higher self teams to be sending appropriate energetic information to your past self of how to hold the vibration of clarity or empowerment, discernment or peace, or a combination of, to you in every single breath to the past in this last year to March 2nd, 2024. And then you start getting woven into this incredibly supportive future fabric. Balancing and stabilizing your fields, allowing for that ripple and that reflection through that time continuum to the present breath of now, updating all of your grids, all your reference points, all ways in which you perceive, letting that integrate.